Simply Tammy.
It's a blessing that I'm here, I'm alive. No, I never ever have to cry, cause it's something I know will always work for me on my side. Not a thing I even have to fight, All things work together for my good. Life speaks if you listen, it might be sound. Watch the love come alive. Sharing the truth that inspires, Sharing the truth that inspires, Sharing the truth that inspires. All things work together for my good. Life speaks if you listen, it might be sound. Watch the joy come alive, watch the joy come alive. Sharing the truth that inspires.
Inspired to love, inspired to grow, inspired to heal, inspired to live. Simply Tammy.
Hello, welcome back for another episode of the Simply Tammy Show. I am your host, Simply Tammy, and we have another Great Grace segment tonight. If you have not been watching and don't know what that is, Great Grace is where I get to sit down with some beautiful couples and hear them share their stories of lasting love. Now, if you live in the upstate, I think I have one of the most favorite couples in the upstate in here with me tonight. And to say that I'm honored is an understatement. If you are connected to either one of them on social media, their videos will have you in stitches, and you probably will have seen the comments that they need to have their own show. So to have them here as guests on the Simply Tammy Show, I am so very honored. So without further ado, they are pastors in the upstate, they are parents, they are grandparents, they've been married almost 30 years. So their story definitely deserves to be celebrated. So help me welcome Brian and Tracy Starkes.
Thank you.
Hello.
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 Thank y'all so much for saying yes to being guests on the show. I don't take it lightly when people say yes, because I know there's so many other things you can be doing with your time. But to say yes, to come in here and sit down with me and just to kind of share about your journey and your story, I don't take it lightly. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
So I like to start out with couples. How did y'all meet? And I know y'all been together a long time.
Yeah, a long time. We met in 1986.
Okay.
At Long Branch Baptist Church.
Y'all met at church?
Yes.
Okay.
Where I was still am a member of Long Branch Baptist Church, and Brian came to visit. I'll let him take it from there because he has a funny story behind it.
Okay.
Yeah, so we met at Long Branch.
Okay.
And my brother and I and a couple of friends went to Long Branch because we heard Long Branch had some nice looking girls.
Really?
Yeah, well, not just Long Branch, but just churches.
Okay,
right?
so you just tell the truth about. So God was not in the equation.
God wasn't in it.
Okay.
He wasn't in it. We were in high school.
Okay.
And so we went to Long Branch, and we went in and went straight to the balcony, because you know how.
Yes.
So even at my home church, that's where all the teenagers hung out. We
hang out in the balcony. Okay.
Went to the balcony, and we saw, me and my friends saw her and her girlfriends, and I mean, we didn't hear nothing that preacher said. I think it was Reverend Berry. I remember his name.
Yeah, Reverend Berry was.
I don't know where he took his text. I don't know what he preached about. No. And she had a relative who was a friend of mine, and he I don't know if he was honest about it. He came over and said, "Hey, they want y'all's number," but I think he was just, you know. And so we talked and exchanged numbers. I think I got yours after church.
Yeah, after church.
But we was picking out. We was like, "Yo, man, I'm gonna talk to her." You know, he's like, "Don't talk to her." My brother's like, "I'm gonna talk to her." So that's kind of how we met. Yeah, in church.
But I never seen the front. I never seen him face to face. I only seen the back of his head when he came into church, and he had his football number in his head,
Cut in his
cut in
head.
his head, number 53. I never forget it. And I was like, oh, I like him. And
I thought it was my muscles, but
no,
It was the
it
haircut.
was the haircut. It was like number 53. I was like, oh, wow. But when I just seen the back of him, and I was intrigued then. And after church, I got his phone number. And something about him, I knew he was totally different from where I come from.
Really?
He was totally different from anyone that I had ever met. He was
Okay.
just different. But
Okay.
the intrigue, it was just, he was so intriguing. He really was.
Really? Okay. I love it. I love
Honestly,
it.
He really is.
So, being so young, was marriage on y'all minds immediately, or y'all just saw somebody you both liked and the relationship grew over time? Because a lot of us didn't come from
Yeah.
homes where we saw people married and saw successful marriages. So,
Yes.
were you looking for a wife, or you were just looking for a pretty girl?
yeah. So I'll be honest, it was physical attraction at first. For me, I thought she was very attractive, and so that's what caught my interest.
Yes.
She was that brick house that we were looking
Yes.
for
Yes.
in high school.
Yes.
So no marriage and things of that nature, even love.
Right.
I'm just keeping it real.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That
Just the
wasn't.
physical attraction
Right.
at that time.
Yeah.
So did you feel like you would be a good husband, and did you feel like you would be a good wife, or were you fumbling in the dark when you said I do?
Fumbling in the dark because I honestly didn't have an example in home of marriage. I came from a single parent home. My grandparents were married, so I did have that as a guide.
Yes.
But not that they sat me down and talked about marriage or anything like that. It's
Right.
just what you see.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You learn by what you see, and But did I know I would be a good wife? No, I just knew I loved him.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Because I didn't have anything to go off of.
Yeah.
Just knew I loved him, knew I wanted to be with him.
Yeah.
And that was how it was. But we were both so young at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. What
Yeah.
about you, Brian? Did you know that you would be a good husband, or it was just you were locked in with Tracy and whatever that looked like?
I felt I had the tools
Okay.
to be a good husband. I'll be honest with you, being young, I can speak from where I'm at now. I was afraid that I didn't know if I could keep myself.
That's very real.
Yeah.
But I felt
Yeah.
like, in fact, talks of getting married always came from her in the beginning. Because one thing I did know is that I didn't want to play. When I got to that point, then I wanted to be, hey, I'm ready. The player card over with.
Yeah.
We ain't looking back.
Yeah.
And so I felt that I had the tools, but could I be committed and faithful for the rest of my life? I was scared about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very honest. Thank you for sharing that. I'm always intrigued. They will be celebrating 30 years in August, and you guys were together several years. You said you've been together like 38 years.
8
Okay.
years before we got
So you
married.
guys have seen each other in all kind of seasons. You kind of grew up together.
Yes.
And I think it speaks a lot. And when I think about, how God helped me name this segment, you've had to instill grace over and over again, because the Brian you met 38 years ago is not the Brian and the same thing with you, the Tracy you met 38 years ago. So what do you think helped you grow together and not grow apart?
God. Most definitely.
Okay.
God. He is
Okay.
the center. It's funny, we had that song at our wedding, God, you know the center of my joy. Never realizing nor recognizing that that was what we needed, because we were not saved at the time when we got married. And not knowing that that is what it took. That was the glue that was going to keep us together.
Yeah.
And I say, God, He extended great grace and taught us how to extend it to each other.
Yeah.
And it's funny, we've grown, like the season that we're in now, you look at your body, things are changing, you know, you have a different outlook on life, and have a different outlook even on with your kids and stuff.
Yeah.
So when I say extending grace, He has showed us, I think, greater grace in these latter years, I would say.
Yeah.
Because we've had a lot of growing up to do.
Yeah.
And because we were so young when we got together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So over these 30 years of marriage, 38 years together, you guys, I'm sure, have weathered all seasons. When you think about the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows, what have been some of the pain points of getting married so young but growing together? Like what have been some things you've had to overcome as a couple, especially getting married almost 40 years ago, and y'all look like y'all in your 40s.
I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, so definitely maturity. When you're young, you think you know, you don't know. And then we didn't have premarital counseling.
No.
Wow.
We traditional wedding in the church and things of that nature, but we didn't have premarital counseling.
Yeah.
And so we started out, I felt that, you know, we always felt we were good people, you know, but you know, the Bible says there's a way that seems right to a man, but the end thereof is destruction. And if I had to say, that was our the beginning of our journey. We felt we were good people. We had a lot of friends, and so we lived for the weekend. We worked hard through the week, and but when Friday came, Friday, like I said in the beginning, or she said, we wasn't in church
Right.
at the time. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we played hard, and so and so just immaturity, lack of information, and then on top of that, you're talking about 2 children. And one of them from my teenage years. So 2 small kids. And so.
Oh, so when you got married, you guys already had children.
Yeah.
We had our
So
children.
you were parenting immediately with me. Okay.
Parenting. Yes.
Right.
Oh, wow.
In high school.
Okay. Wow.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had no. There was not a handbook that came with the Starkes marriage at all. You know. So having a child so young, we had support, which helped us to endure that time. But we also had a love for each other that caused us to say, hey, this is our child, this is what we choose to, we made this choice, now we're in it, and we're going to raise our child together. Was it hard? Yes, it was hard. You know, just lack of training, and you know, nobody prepares you for life.
Absolutely. I say that to my friends, like, where is the manual? I mean, we got the Bible and we thank God for the Word of God, but there are some life situations like, what I'm supposed to do with this?
Yes. So, you know, Brian went off to college. I'm senior in high school and trying to navigate school, friends, and a child at the same time, and trying to have a relationship at the same time. That was a lot. But no one told me, you know, that I couldn't do it. No one told me I could do it. And all I had to do, we just had to figure it out together. So we did. We figured it out together. And I would say that's how our life has been. When we come amongst something, we figure it out together. We've always said whatever we did or whatever we do, we're going to do together. And so that's what we do. We do it together.
That's beautiful.
So we had to learn that.
Yeah, because you see a lot of couples, well, not a lot, I don't want to say a lot, but you see some couples that get married young, and then as they get older, they start growing apart because they come into a different identity of themselves and don't think that they are fit with the person.
Yeah.
So I always admire when I see people that have longevity, because I know that you've had to go through some growing pains
Yes.
to be where you are. So at some point, ministry was introduced. You guys were licensed as ministers, then became an elder, then pastoring. So I know that's a whole nother weight outside of marriage, children, just being Brian and Tracy. Now you have the responsibility of people that are looking up to you in that office.
Yes.
So how did you handle those demands and still stay bonded together? Because sometimes those things can pull.
They can. I would have to say, Brian is a very easygoing person, very serious. I don't even have to look at him and know he got a serious look right now. Very, very serious, and always has been.
Okay.
So when it comes to the things of God, strictly, he is strictly by the Bible. Love God's people, and we've been called to it. We put our hands on it, and this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna see it through. And so that's how he's always dealt with life.
Okay.
Really, whatever God has given him, he has always taken it by the horns, and he's just written it out, and he's given it his all. And so I've really learned from him, watching him, and how he interact with people, how he handle things. And I kind of just piggyback off of that. And I love God, I love God's people. So, and I always say, whatever we do, we're going to do it together. Was it a struggle? I have to say, no, it wasn't a struggle to, to go from, switching gears, being ministers and then becoming a pastor. We love God's people. This is just what we do. It's just who we are.
Yes.
So there's no, what you see is what you get.
Yes.
So
yes.
there's no, when we in the pulpit, it's something totally different.
Yes.
And then when we're home, it's something totally different, and we're just who we are.
Yes. So then how was the ministry dynamic introduced in? Because, if we dating, we're not saved. We get married, we're not saved. At some point, somebody says yes to God, or we both say yes at the same time. You saying yes to God is one thing, but now saying yes to ministry, like, I ain't signed up to be no pastor's wife, or I didn't sign,
Yeah.
How was that transition from unsaved dating, unsaved married, now at some point giving God a yes, and now the yes grows?
Well, like I said, Brian, he's always been the leader, and I always have allowed him to lead. Never had a problem with that. And I never forget, before we got saved, we came to a crossroad. And in our marriage, where we knew we needed change. We knew we needed that. And his thing was, change is about to happen. You can go with me, or you don't have to go.
Really?
One, but it's about to happen.
Okay. And this, so he had been introduced to God, and he was like, okay, this is what we about to do. Okay.
And it wasn't like he forced me into it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or anything like that.
Hey, just for a moment, I wanted to interrupt you. So no, the video has not messed up. This is an intentional interruption. Just for me first to say thank you, because if you've gotten to this point, that means you're still watching this interview, and hopefully you're hearing some things that are helping you, encouraging you, inspiring you. But I thank you for taking the time to listen, to get to know some of these amazing people, and to be encouraged and inspired by their stories. Second of all, I want to give you an opportunity to partner with me. If there is something that you think you can offer to this platform, either hands-on if you're local to the Greenville area, if you know some guests that you think I should interview, or if you see the transitions that we've gone through from when I started with Women Who Win and now doing this in my own space, and you say, I want to support that vision, I want to give to it, we welcome any type of support that you have to give. We also are going to have opportunities for organizations and businesses. You don't have to be local to Greenville, but we can spotlight you during our show segments. If any of that sounds interesting to you and you want to participate, shoot me an email. I'm going to put the email address on the screen, and I want to give you all of the information on how you can partner and connect so that we can keep bringing these people before you, sharing their amazing stories, offering them a safe space to share their journeys and to also help encourage you along yours. So thank you again for listening, and now back to this interview.
We went to visit a church and went to a couple of Bible studies. And one Sunday, next thing I know, he was going down the aisle. And I was like grabbing my stuff, like going right behind him, you know. And I never forget giving my life to Christ before we were in the church, and then I gave my life to Christ. But I never forget asking God to heal our marriage and to save our marriage. And if he did that, I would serve him always. I never forget, I gave him my life on my bedroom floor. And when I felt the power of God, just asking him to do that and telling him, yes, I'll serve you always, to come into my life. And God just did a quick work in us. It was so quick that I think it kind of took our families by storm.
Wow.
Because we were, I think it was in 1996. And God just did such a work. I think within a 2-year span, God was moving fast. Our family, our children, you know, we brought them up in the church because they were so young at the time. And I think they were like 2 and 6 at the time. And we just knew that we needed God, we wanted God. And we just let him have his way. And that's what has transpired even to becoming ministers. He became a minister first, I think in what year, 98? I was licensed in 2009. Felt the call way before then, but just decided to yield in 2009 to the call to ministry.
Okay.
I think, can I speak right to that?
Absolutely.
I think that because I heard you ask the question, like how did y'all how did that transpire? Well, and she said I followed Brian's lead. Well, we got married. I was 25. You were 22, right? 21. And them first 2 years was out of this world. Now,
out of this world amazing?
No,
or out of this world about to fall off the cliff?
About to fall off the cliff. I mean, you just hanging on by a thread. In fact, you know, we was on our way to divorce court. We had separated for a short time.
Within the first 2 years?
Yeah.
After being together 8 years? Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And now I've been raised in the church from the womb. I got saved at 10 years old, but I didn't have, you know, I'm 10 years old.
Right.
I ain't practicing my faith.
Right.
I don't really know nothing. But I knew, you know, that Christ is real. He's the Son of God. I knew about the confession and the belief and so on. So I had what I would call a childlike foundation. You know, when I was going to church, I went to church because they made me go.
Right.
And I'm glad they did, because when I got in that tough spot, I still had that childlike foundation. I had childlike faith, but it was faith. You know, it was the size of a mustard seed, but it was enough to get me through.
Right.
And so I remember I rededicated my life to Christ, and while we were separated, I went to her and told her that I had rededicated my life. You can either come with me or you can go the other way, but this is the way I'm going.
Wow.
Now I had prayed
Wow.
And I had asked God with tears in my eyes to save my family. But if it didn't happen, I was gonna be okay with it.
Oh,
But that's what I wanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And so she said, well, you know, she said, I'm going with you, so on and so on. And it was so much turmoil at the time. I don't think we had a lot of trust in each other. So I kind of felt she just talking, and then so I joined the church. I joined another church, not my home church. And when I went up there, she was standing there. And still I was happy, but I still wasn't. Because I'm like, you know, I didn't say nothing to her, but I'm like,
right.
she's doing this because I'm doing it. You know what I mean? So in time, I'm gonna tell you how God. I came home from work one day, and I caught her praying, and that let me know. She never done that. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of gave me a little bit of that okay, we can work with something here.
Yeah.
And so, then the rest is kind of like we never looked back from that day. Never.
That's beautiful.
I remember one time. I can say this, and then we were not long after that, maybe a year. We were upstairs. You know how back in the day you had the VCR, and you got all these VCR tapes under the under the thing. So we used to have just like movie nights, and we didn't have a whole lot of money. We couldn't take the kids. It was expensive to the movies and stuff like that. So it was like kids like, Dad, what we gonna do? Mommy, Dad, what we gonna do? Like, let's watch a movie. So we were gonna watch it. So just pick something off from under there. And Corey, our oldest child, he grabbed the CD, he put it in the VCR. Right, and when it came on, he said, "Daddy, what's that?" And you know, and I was like, "Y'all go downstairs, go downstairs." And we used to, you know, back there everybody was filming everything. We was filming everything, and we used to have house parties and stuff like that. And we sit there and watched that and cried.
Yes.
Wow.
Because, see, when you in darkness, you don't see what you're doing.
You don't realize how dark it is. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we cried because, like I said, we didn't feel we were bad people. We didn't bother nobody. But just when we saw what we were doing and how we talked, and it was natural, you know.
Just roll off the tongue.
Wow.
And it brought tears to our eyes, and but I think God was showing us, look where you come from. Look how far you come.
Yes.
You know, so
wow. That's
it's been a journey.
It's like you played that movie right back in front of us, you know, and that let us know grace.
Yes.
Again.
Yes.
He's giving us grace.
Yes.
Most definitely.
So you've shared a lot of some of the things you went through, and I like to talk to married couples about the process of becoming one, because I've heard people say, you know, we've been married 20 years, but it wasn't until you're 10 that we became one, or we've been married 30 years. It doesn't happen just because we consummate the marriage. So when did you guys feel like, oh, I know we are one now? Was it the turnaround time when y'all came back together and you've been one ever since, or was there still a process of you feel like we are growing as becoming one?
I would say when we got saved, to me, that's the oneness came in, because God was tearing some stuff down in both of us and building us up in areas, and you start to see life differently. You see your mate differently. And I mean, that's what I say.
Yeah.
Right.
And I have to say, we had amazing help. You know, we were young, and we had joined a new church that had long started up. So we were foundational members, and so they taught from the on-site about oneness and walking in oneness, and so just being under a very strong teaching ministry and marriage ministry. It was like the premarital counseling that we didn't get prior to the marriage. We was getting all of that and more, you know, and then we had accountability. You know what I'm saying? Because the church was small. So you know how, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So we had access. A lot of times when the membership
Y'all
was
could ask
large,
questions,
we could ask questions,
and get counsel, and
we could call at 1 o'clock in the morning and say, you know, hey, you know, and
I'm about to leave her. What you want?
you know, just whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of large memberships just don't have that opportunity. So we that goes back, in my opinion, to that grace. You see what I'm saying? It's this whole journey has been nothing but grace. You know, so there's a lot of things that came into play. That I would say was nothing but grace.
So on a lighter note, so me being, cause I'm connected with Tracy on Facebook, social media, and y'all have some hilarious videos. And when you said earlier that he's serious most of the times, I'm like, he's such a comedian.
He is.
I guess it's just natural. And I wanted to play the video tonight, but because it's private on your page, you can't do it. But I think it was last year. And when I tell you, I still laugh at this video today. When you bought him them shoes.
Oh, with the bracelet.
Yes.
The bracelet on the heels.
Yes.
We don't do that.
I was so excited to buy him. I had bought 3 pairs of shoes. Oh, I was so excited. I was like, oh, I got my baby 3 pairs of shoes. And, you know, I was just excited. I had did something, you know, thinking that he was going to be happy. He picked up that box and opened it.
You said, Brian, I got you something for your anniversary. And he opened the box.
The bracelet on the heels.
He said, Trey, I done told you, either take me with you or be, you asked me. When I tell you, so has the humor helped you guys? Because y'all videos, like I watched another video, I think you were coming home from the book club, and he's like,
oh, yes.
where you coming from this time of night? So have you guys always had that type of exchange?
Brian is, as he got older, the comedian side came out.
Okay.
Brian is naturally an introvert.
Okay.
I'm the social butterfly.
Okay.
But as he got older, it's like the comedian side just blossomed, and he come off the cuff. And I'm not naturally funny, but he is truly naturally funny. It just come off the cuff, like with the bracelet. That just,
y'all, I wish I could show y'all this video, but there was some nice Aldo shoes, black suede shoes. But he saw that gold heel, he said, Trey, now you know I can't wear no shoes with no bracelet on the heel. She said, bracelets?
I was like, bracelet? I would have never thought of a bracelet. Oh my goodness. And
but that is so funny.
And we have a lot of moments like that. And now we empty nesters, so we entertain each other. We really do. And it's never a dull moment at the house. You know, there are some days we can be sitting on the couch. He got his couch, I got my love seat I sit on, and he may just look over, Trey, what do you think about this? And then it can just be the funniest thing, and I'm like, Brian, nobody would ever think that you are this funny. Like I say, you know, he has a serious side, and that's what everybody sees. Until he decided to turn on that video camera. So
I think it's always been there with both of us. I think that it just wasn't public, you know, because
Of social media and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or just in general, because I struggle with it. In fact, because we talked about this years ago, you know, because the perception of preachers and pastors, you know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing I don't want to do is compromise the ministry of God.
Absolutely.
But we're both funny people. We both like to laugh.
And y'all enjoy one another.
And we enjoy one another.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's clean fun, but just the thought of offending one person, that bothers me. You know what I'm saying?
Understood.
Even if they take it the wrong way. And so I still struggle with some of those videos, but I'm trying to be, a preacher friend of mine said, Brian, man, you got to be yourself.
Absolutely.
And which I agree with that. So, you know, and that's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to make somebody laugh. We're trying to make somebody laugh, you know, and people say, like you were saying, hey, you need to get a YouTube or do this. And the reason why we haven't, at least at this point, is because when we do that stuff, it's kind of off the cuff. It's natural.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want nothing to replace, like,
just that y'all just enjoying each other
you know what I'm
and
saying?
living.
I don't want it to be like become a job or something. Let's wake up, make a post.
Yeah.
Then I got to think about what we gonna do or rehearse it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just want to be authentic and natural and just, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's I'm still struggling with it because I don't ever want to you know, sometimes you can be a stumbling block to people, not intentionally. And I just don't want to be that person. I don't want us to be that person. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, well, I will say the videos that I see, I think one is beautiful to see that you guys are friends. It's good to see, it's beautiful to see that y'all truly love each other, that y'all laugh together, that y'all cut up together, because the opposite of that, you see couples that say they love God, but you question if they love each other.
And you rarely even see them together.
Yes,
like,
yeah.
who is your husband?
Right. So, you know, the greatest example of God's love for us and love for one is how we love one another. You know, we can shout, dance, preach to masses, but can you love the one beside you? So
that's right.
It's very, very encouraging and hilarious. Like, I went and found that video, but I said, this was so, because he seemed so deflated. Like he wanted to like him, but he was like, I just can't wear these bracelets on my feet. So that was so funny to me.
Did you like them? You didn't like those shoes. You know we don't wear no bracelet on our heels. You did not like them. Come on now.
They were nice shoes, but I think it has to be who you are for you to wear them. So you know, maybe she was trying to stretch you into something new.
Yeah, I was like,
because they were trendy. Yeah.
So that's why I was like, okay, I get my shoes out of there, you know. I'm gonna share the love, you know.
Right.
But
he said, nah.
I don't even look at the men's side anymore. I just like, no.
I think she sold them to
I
somebody.
did. I sold them that day.
Did you? So
Yes,
somebody saw the video and was like,
So somebody liked bracelets on their heels, you know. But nah, not me. Not my personality.
These the shoes I got you for your anniversary, Brian Craig.
All right.
All right.
Whoa.
What?
I mean, that's why I tell you, like, ask me or take me with you.
Oh, I was trying to do a surprise. Make it a surprise.
I mean, I like the,
What you like about it?
I don't do shoes with bracelets on the heels.
Bracelets.
I mean, the bracelet on the heel, the part like, you know, I like that.
You just don't like the heel.
I can't, Trey, come on now.
What?
You know, I don't wear no shoes with bracelets on the heels.
I'm so...
I like the shoe though.
because I saw another video. Your daughter had bought you a man purse. And you was like, I can't keep digging in this. I ain't even supposed to be.
Yeah. I actually wore that for, I don't know, a couple of months. Just
For vacation. She bought it for vacation.
Oh, you know, she bought it for me. And she baby girl, so she a little more sensitive than, you know. But nah, that didn't
You
work.
too
Just my
old school for
generation.
all this trendy stuff, ain't it?
Yeah, you know. We didn't carry purses, but we carried wallets, you know. A money clip, you know.
Yeah.
So
He tried.
Listen, that was so funny to me. I'm like, they are, and like most of the time when I see your videos, everybody is in there cracking up and like, y'all gotta get y'all show. But I think because so much stuff is not real on social media to see, because you can tell it's not staged. You can tell, you know, you just picked up your phone and caught him in the moment. Yeah. And just to see that, I think is what adds to how funny it is, because it's like, he's serious about what he's saying, whether he's getting on you about being late to church or getting ready for church.
Yes, always. I told him tonight, I said, I'm going to be ready, I'm going to be on time. He said, we not in the car yet, Tracy. And I was like, but I'm going to be. And I purposely was at the car before he was, because I was like, he is not going to say that I made us late. So, yeah.
Yes. So have you guys enjoyed being empty nesters?
love it.
Love it. Love it.
Okay. So it wasn't y'all didn't feel heartbroken and didn't know what to do with yourselves and
Well,
I did. She did a little bit. I didn't.
okay.
you know, been a parent since high school, so you know, you used to the kids being in the house, you used to the noise.
Yes.
So our son, he moved out first, and he did not even tell me he was moving out. His dad knew, but I didn't know. Oh God. And one day I came home from work and he was putting stuff in the car. I was like, what you doing? He's like, I'm moving out, I got an apartment. Oh my God, my heart was broken.
No.
And I was like, Corey, you didn't tell Mama that you were, that you were moving out. He said I couldn't, because, he knew that I would react the way I did. So when our daughter finally moved out, of course, she was the last one. So when she moved out, we were kind of ready to be empty nesters by that time. Okay. We were really ready.
Yeah, so the feelings were gone from the, so you knew you knew how to handle it now.
I knew, plus, we were getting at an age where we needed to enjoy one another. It's like, ooh, we don't have to worry about, somebody coming in late or knocking on the bedroom door. Mommy, I need you. Of course, they still have keys to the house, though.
Oh.
But we have no keys to their house. So there's still somewhat not privacy.
Yes.
We don't have privacy. We do or we don't, in a sense. But we love being empty nesters.
Yes.
We enjoy it. Don't have to worry about kids. Don't even really have to worry about
Cooking?
I was gonna he relieved me of that duty.
Yeah, worry about cooking?
Yeah.
Really?
And,
Y'all, why y'all married women didn't tell us y'all stop cooking when them kids leave? But I'm good with it, though. It ain't but us two. And,
don't take much. So, yeah. So we have enjoyed it, and we are enjoying it. We really are. We look forward to seeing each other.
So the grandkids don't try to come take over all the time? Do y'all?
When they were younger, they did, but now they're at the age where they're involved in all kind of other activities. So they either at games or practices or something going on at school. So they got busy schedules, so they don't bombard us as much.
But when they were younger, they were always there. We always had them because we were either helping with school pickup. So we would have them till their parents got home, late at night. So I tell you, and God gave us the strength to do that, because I tell you, at this moment, I could not do that all
after
over.
babies,
it's, so I will say, God knows exactly what he's doing. Didn't feel good at the time when they became, young parents. But now that we look at it, you know, it's like, oh God, I thank you, because I just couldn't have done it at this age right now.
Yeah.
You know, so, and we enjoy being grandparents. We do. We're hands-on.
Yeah.
We're just hands-on with our kids too. So, but we let them live their lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we are now learning how to parent adult children. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, I've heard you go from the parent role to the consultant role. It's like you kind of advise them and let them still do it, and kind of wait in the wind for when they come back asking questions or whatever.
Because that's at this age that they are now. Because our son is 37, our daughter be 31 this Friday. So having to see them go through some of the things that we've had to endure, it's almost like you looking in the glass and you're like, oh God, don't do that, don't do this. But you know you got to let them bump their head a couple of times. But you pray harder, you pray differently for adult children than you do when they're younger, because you're able to guide them and they listen to what you say. Now it's like a force almost, and you got to pick and choose your battles. You got to know when to say it, when not to say it. You do more praying than you do talking. So this is a totally different season right here. So it's fun. It's a blessing. But it's also a time where you know you kind of your faith really has to kick in, and your trust. God, you gave them to me. Proverbs 22:6. You said, train them up. You know, train them up in the way of the Lord, and when they're old, they will return. You know, and I trust you with that, God. So I'm leaning more on scriptures. That this is what you said. This is your promise. You know, you said the fruit of my womb was blessed. So then you just start to say, God, you gave them to me. You gave them to me for a reason. So I'm going to trust you with them. You know, so you find yourself really leaning on Him more in prayer concerning your children.
Well, one of the questions I like to ask married couples, because, you know, we're in a day and age of information. You know, we grew up with encyclopedias, and if you couldn't go to the library and couldn't afford encyclopedias, you just knew what you knew. You didn't have information in your hands. But you hear things now like, you know, people get married because it's a financial decision, it's a business decision, or we get married for the children. And sometimes people say love can sustain a marriage, and sometimes they say love is not enough. So I like to ask the couple, so to the Starkes, what's love got to do with it?
Love has everything to do with it. Love, God is love. And when you know Him, you love differently. You love through His eyes. You learn to love that person for who they are. You don't change them because you can't change them. So I would say love has everything to do with it. It's the foundation. It really is. So, and it does. It grows as you grow in age, as you mature. Your love grows for that person, because life takes you through different valleys and, you know, hills, sicknesses. So we've had to go through sickness, and we understand, like I say, it didn't come with a handbook. So we had to learn how to love through that, how to navigate that. And like I say, great grace and love has everything to do with it. Not you.
Would you like to add?
I agree. Love has everything to do with it. I think, you know, spiritually it's different types of love. 𝘓𝘢𝘴𝘵, you know, agape, you know, but when you find that godly love and let that be the center, then I think, see, that kind of love will make you do right.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? That
Yeah.
kind of love will make you come home at night.
Yes, yes.
You see what I'm saying? But you got to get to that, because a lot of times we get all these other loves, brotherly love, and but you ain't got that godly love. He got to be your first love. And I think, like in the beginning when we got married, that's where we was missing it. See what I'm saying? We had. I loved her. We didn't get married and not love each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, we weren't in love with him,
Which makes the difference.
which makes the difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
That's
I think
good.
love has everything to do with it. Because if you love her and she loves you, you can bring all that, the finances. Look, I worked certain jobs not because I liked them.
That's true.
I could have took other jobs paying less money. I was on the road for 20-something years driving tractor trailer, not because I like driving a truck, but that brought home some good money for me to give them the
Take
kind
care
of
your
life
family. Yeah.
that I wanted to give them. Because I remember when we was in Roosevelt. I remember when we was on Section 8.
Yes.
And I wasn't raised like that, so I had both sides. And I wanted more for my family. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
I knew what I knew what it was like, both sides. And I wanted more, you see? So
Yeah.
so love made me get up. You know what I'm saying? When times were hard, and then when we left the projects and we got our first apartment, and but we couldn't afford 3 bedrooms.
Yes. Had to get
So
to
now I got a son and a daughter sharing the same room. They little. I ain't had no money. I'm doing but you do the best you can. See, I was chasing God more than I was chasing all this other stuff, but with the expectation that God gonna show me how to get there.
Yes.
So sometimes I'll get up in the morning, depressed, cause sometimes you want to be better than where you are in life.
Yes. Yes.
And look in the bedroom door and see my son and daughter there asleep. But that would give me enough motivation to just keep going to work every day. So love got everything to do with it.
Wow.
Yes.
You said something that stuck out to me. You said you weren't raised like that. So you guys were experiencing circumstances in your marriage that were different than your upbringing, based off of being young and just having to do what you had to do. Wow. Wow.
Yes. And see, for me, I came from a single parent home. So we lived in the project. So
I did too. I grew up in Piedmont Manor.
Yeah, I grew up in Fieldcrest and City Heights, so I knew, lived in Sterling, so I knew when I lived there, it was just something about. I felt like for me, I lived there, but I wasn't a part of that.
Yeah.
I felt like, for me, I never wanted my family to have to experience that. Not saying, you do what, like you said, you do what you have to do.
Yeah, he knew it was a season. That's why I love how he worded that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you knew you wanted more, wanted better for your family. So, and God is just exceeded our expectations. There were days I didn't know what to expect, but just knew I wanted different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I love it. So now that you are empty nesters, what outside of ministry, what types of things do you guys enjoy doing together?
Oh, we like to travel.
Okay.
And travel for us doesn't mean we have to get on the plane. It doesn't mean that we have to go,
far, across the country.
Yeah. Travel for us could be, we could travel to the beach, we could travel Myrtle Beach or somewhere close, but long as we're together having fun, just a change of scenery for us. We don't have to have it's for us. It doesn't take lavish stuff to make us happy because we're already happy. So for us, wherever we go, we're going to bring it with us.
Yes.
So it's just like I say, we enjoy travel. Brian has always made sure that we took a vacation every year. So we've always, we love to cruise. We love to just to get away and enjoy one another. But I say that's our fun time. We like to do that. We know now that we traveling with our little ones and the adult children can be hectic sometimes.
Right.
So when we're doing it by ourselves, we really enjoy it. So this year we get to go by ourselves.
Okay.
So we're gonna really enjoy that.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys are gonna do something big for your 30th, or just for your vacation.
Just for our vacation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, for those milestones for us, every day is a milestone for us. Because life is so short.
Yes, it is.
And
yes,
you
it
can't
is.
take it for granted. So, my friends laugh at me. I tell them, I said, when Brian get home, I'll be so excited to see him. I'm like, hey, Brian, how was your day? And he's, like I say, he's an introvert. So, he got to get eased into it. And I be all, just hyper and everything. He's like, it was a day, Tracy. It was work. And I'm like, oh, what you do? So I still have that giddiness in me, just excited to see him and stuff like that. But, and people wonder, how could that be, or is that real? It's real.
Yes.
It is. This is my best friend.
Yes.
I put a post out the other day and I said, there's no place I'd rather be than with him. And, some people have to have girls trips and stuff. That is fine. I say sometimes you do need to get away. But for me, it doesn't take all that for me. I'm just excited, to be with him. I say I get that outlet when I go to work.
Yeah, that's your outlet time at work.
I'm at work, amongst the other people, whatever. But, for me, just being with him is all I need.
I love it. I love it. So I saw in your bio that you guys do, is it a class or something you offer for married couples?
We used to hold a segment called To Death Do Us Part Ministry.
Yes.
And it started out, I can't remember the year, but I'll let Brian explain that because God gave him the name of it and really gave him the vision for it. And because we love people, because we love marriage, we love family.
Yes.
It started out with married couples, engaged couples, and singles. We had a couple of singles that would come just to get the information or whatever. But just a time of sharing.
Yes.
And bonding.
Yes.
Yeah, and letting people know, God really has to be the center.
Yes.
There's no other way it's going to really work, truly work the way God intended it and purpose for it to work.
Yeah, so I think it came about because that is a passion that Tracy and I have both had. I think oftentimes your greatest pain is what becomes your ministry. And so we had so many challenges that early in our marriage that as we got older, we just kind of wanted to share and enlighten other people with the hopes that they wouldn't have to go through some of the things that we went through. You don't have to, I would rather someone learn something through seminars and classes, or just sitting there having a conversation through marriage counseling, than having to go to learn it from hurt. You know what I'm saying? Now sometimes we have to do that, but it's you don't always have to be hurt to learn something. You don't always have to learn something the hard way. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how that started, and we were younger then, and we were just giving biblical insight and personal experiences and somewhat being transparent, because I think when you're younger and in those younger years, you don't know stuff like, the top 3 reasons for divorce is lack of communication, financial issues, and cheating, infidelity. So how do you keep yourself? I mean, these are issues you need to talk about. That I go to work every morning, and if I say I will see attractive women, that's a lie. But that don't belong to me. And you don't have, you understand what I'm saying? You can't have that.
Right.
This is mine right here. You see what I'm saying? And I believe a lot of couples don't want to cheat, but what I mean is cheat in their heart, but their flesh is on fire. How do you get that toward? You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yes.
And and I think when you talk about these issues in a private, small group, safe space, then with the hopes that somewhere down the line, it will prevent people from making certain mistakes that could cost them, their marriage.
Yeah.
I know this might sound crazy, but this is just the way I think. When you get married, and again, like I say, I know a lot of people not gonna agree with it. I'm just saying this I think crazy sometimes. When I married Tracy, she became my family. In fact, she became the most important person in my family. And oftentimes she says, as she said in our classes, is that the only relationship God said should last for a lifetime is the one between a husband and a wife.
Yes.
But yet, now, a wife or a husband, when it comes to family, is the only person you can divorce. When you get mad, when you get upset, when they make a mistake, when they break your heart, you can't divorce your mama. She's still gonna be your mama. I don't care what y'all might not speak, y'all might not talk on the phone, but she's still your mama.
Yeah.
Your daddy, me and my daddy had an altercation, and when I was 18, a teenage parent with a child, with Trace at the moment, and then I got my brother tried to defend me. And my daddy kicked me and my brother out the house that same day. We ain't been home to live since then on our own. Now we have a wonderful relationship.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I couldn't divorce my daddy,
Right.
and my daddy couldn't divorce me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if something happens between the husband and the wife, we can just go say, I don't want you to be a part of my family no more. Now I'm not judging that. I'm just all I'm saying is all I'm saying is what I can't say what makes it work. I can only say what made it work for us.
Yeah.
Number one, you gotta get over pride. Number two, you can't be selfish. Number three, you can't worry about all that stuff that embarrassed you. About people don't bump them.
That's right.
The ones that love you gonna support you.
Yeah.
The ones that's gonna go out there and talk about everything you did and he did and she did and all like that. You can't worry about that.
Right. They're gonna do that.
They gonna do that anyway.
Yeah.
And see, we be trying to save our so-called reputation. Man, listen, all of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory. When you let God's word be louder than their criticism, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you let God's word be louder than that, what does God say about you versus what they saying? What does God say? What does God say he gonna do for you? When you let that be louder than what other people are saying or what the devil, the enemy's putting thoughts you put in your, we don't went through all that. We don't went through depression. We don't went through all that. And I'm not saying that you don't go through these things in the future. I'm just saying what worked for us.
Yes. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Now, what worked for one may not work for other. But that's what we had to get over pride.
Yeah.
Couldn't worry about who knew some of our business, what they did. Couldn't worry about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
We couldn't do nothing to change it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and so I think, so yeah, I think that's where those classes came from. Now, when we started pastoring, we haven't done that since we've been pastoring, just because it took up a lot of other work.
Yeah.
And then now we see, we get raw and real in there, man. We get to what I call
But that's
the
what's
nitty-gritty.
needed. That's what's
And-
needed.
It is.
Right, and and we don't. So if you have, if you're involved in your ministry, we just don't believe in under teaching or undermining. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we kind of try to
Steer people to where they
are,
Understood.
and we counsel people that we're marrying in our members.
Okay. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Unless we just really strong, or they get permission, say, hey, from their pastor, well, can we go and see them? And then, and then if I'm able to speak with that leader,
Okay.
you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
I don't know if that's right or wrong. That's just my conviction.
Understood.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, because I was
Yeah.
going to ask, did you guys offer marital counseling or anything like that? But you answered that in saying to those in your ministry, or if they have permission from the ministry they're under.
Yes.
That makes sense. And you, Pastor, is it Mount? I don't want to say it wrong.
Olive.
Mount Olive in Anderson.
Right.
Okay, so do you guys have a Facebook page for your church or ministry if people wanted to connect with your church or ministry? Are you guys on social media?
Mount Olive Baptist Church, Anderson, South Carolina.
Okay, and is that on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So this has been so good. I thank you guys for being so transparent and sharing. And I do want you, whatever's on your heart, to encourage maybe the young couple who's trying to find their way, or the couple who's a few years in struggling. I think, almost 40 years together, almost 30 years married, you guys have a wealth of information. So, if you want to speak to the husbands and you want to speak to the wives, or the parents who's struggling with empty nesters, whatever is on your heart to share with whoever may hear this. And even, I love what you said about divorce, because it can become disheartening sometimes to see the rate of divorce in the church.
Yeah.
Right.
And, when we know that God considers the church the bride of Christ, and it's like, well, if he ain't leaving us, like you said, but it's like people wake up one day and it's like, yeah, I don't want to do this no more.
Which is disheartening.
Yeah, so it's like, where's the God factor in that? So whatever you guys would like to share with couples, wives, husbands, however you guys want to do it together or apart, if you don't mind looking at that camera and saying some words.
You do the women?
Yes. I would say to the wives, those that are seeking to be married, it's not an easy thing. It is I'm not going to say that it become easier, but it's work. Marriage is ministry. Relationship is ministry. God is a relational God. He's a covenant God. And I would say that you have to put him first no matter what. I wouldn't lead you any other way but to Christ. And marriage is a beautiful thing. Women, sometimes we feel like we're the least. The society can make us feel that way. But just know, in the sight of God, in the sight of your marriage, you're not least. You bring value. You bring volume to the relationship, and you add value to it. So I would just say to those women out there, allow God to show you how to become the wife that he has prepared you to be for your mate. Not for any other mate, but for your mate.
Yeah, and I would like to say to the men that I think that when men and when the husband, so many times when we have marital issues, we want to work on it together. And while that's important, sometimes what first must happen is, even if the other one is moving slowful or don't want counseling, don't want to move forward, you have to get yourself together, man. I really believe with all my heart that if the man gets right with God, he throw it all in. I mean, you throw it all in the middle of your hurt, in the middle of your embarrassment, in the middle of your tears, in the middle of you have trust issues, all of that, throw it all in, and regardless of what she's doing, you follow God, I can guarantee you that she's gonna follow behind you. It might not be overnight, the next day, but I just you have been called to be the head. You have been called to be the leader. You have been called to take the first step. And if you step out there, I guarantee you she'll follow you and she'll be with you. It's just like you can't do nothing without a signal first going to your head, to your brain. You can't lift your hand, you can't walk, you can't lift your toe. Before there's a reaction, there's already been a signal that went to your head. You the head, man. You are the head. And if you throw it all in with God, I'm telling you, and it's gonna be tough because you're gonna have to get out your emotions and you're gonna have to get out your head. But if you can do that, if you can pray and ask God to give you the strength to do that, regardless of what she's saying, and I know you might say, Pastor, you don't understand her mouth. I understand all what you're talking about, but I'm telling you, if you can just do that, seek God, throw it all in, regardless of what she's doing, you go in the right direction, you're gonna see some positive results.
Amen. Amen. So
That
true.
was good. That was good. Now, Tracy, you had no mouth, did you? You had no mouth, did you? He said he understand all what you
Yeah,
talking
that
about.
mouth can.
Tracy, you so meek and
I am. I really am. However, I can be a little. I don't know.
Just say it. It's already on tip of your tongue. I see.
Pushy a little bit.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Pushy. Okay.
I never really even see myself being that pushy, but as I sit back and reflect on myself, Tracy, you're a little pushy. You kind of like it your way, you know.
Oh, okay.
A little bit, but
Okay.
no, but my mouth is not like,
Tear me down.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's never like that. I'm more. Brian used to say that I was spoiled. I never seen it until I got a little older. I was like, oh, Tracy, you are spoiled.
Oh. And he didn't add to that. He didn't add to the spoiling.
Oh yeah, he is the one who spoiled me. He
Oh,
really
okay.
did. Then when he said that, I was like, no, I'm not spoiling. What about I sit back? I was like, Tracy, you are. But I hope I spoil you too.
Yeah, I'm spoiled. We spoil each other.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
I think we got a balance there. You
Good.
know. I try to make sure he has what he needs, and you know, just as what a wife should do.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
try not to neglect
Yes.
in any area.
Yes.
Hope
yes.
not.
Yes. Understood. Yeah, so this is like my staple question that everybody gets asked, and as a couple you can answer it together. If you have separate answers, you can both share. If you had to name a song that describes this season of your life, what song would you say describes this season of your life? And I love music, so that's why it's my staple question. I like to know what people are just listening to, what's encouraging them.
Oh my God. I'll let him answer that because I'll be here all day.
Now you know we in the Baptist church.
Well, I grew up Baptist, so hey, you look. We had somebody here. Well, I think it was last week. They went to the hymns on us. So yeah.
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
yeah.
Since COVID, you know, our music ministry ain't been up to par. So you want me to pull a hymn out?
Hey, pull it out.
Yeah.
Pull it out. What song is it that you? I think it was.
That's easy. That's
okay.
easy.
Okay, which is
It's
it?
the topic of the show. Amazing grace.
Yes.
How sweet the sound
Yes.
that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Yes. That is beautiful.
yes.
Beautiful.
That's it for me. Amazing number grace.
Yes.
So true.
Thank
Number
you. Thank
I would
you.
have to say, great is thy faithfulness.
Yes.
Sing it for him, baby.
Oh no. I cannot piggyback off
You
that.
don't sing,
I don't
Tracy?
sing. He just told me to wave my hand, not even clap, because I can't clap on beat. No,
Tracy, you can't clap on beat.
no.
Really?
Yeah, and he asked me to bring the hymn book home so I could study the hymn book so I can learn the hymns.
Brian, you
know
ain't
about-
helping her at home clap on beat. She not an easy learner.
I don't know what happened because when we wasn't saved,
She was on beat.
she was a club girl. We party people. She did everything on beat. So I
Everything.
guess the Lord took it or
He
something.
took it all.
So I don't know.
He saved it all.
She ain't.
I ain't been
She
to
ain't
beat.
clapped no beat.
I have,
ain't been on
seriously,
beat
I have
since.
not clapped no beat.
Are you
since.
She
serious?
ain't been on beat.
That is
since.
hilarious.
I'm still learning the hymns, though. I am. I'm trying.
Yeah.
That is so funny. Well, thank you guys. I knew it was gonna be full of joy and laughter having you guys here, but I thank you that it was that, but it was full of wisdom and insight and ministry. I think you guys are a beautiful example of God's love. So continue to shine forth His love and His light, because it is helping us, those of us even that are single, see hope and anticipation of what God can do.
Yes.
If you put Him first. So
Yes.
thank you for being beautiful examples
Thank you.
of His love in marriage and in ministry.
Thank you
Yes.
for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah,
for having
so yeah, and thank y'all for saying yes, because I know pastoring and doing all the things y'all do, I'm sure there's other things y'all could have been doing this evening, but to be here with us means so much.
We
means
had
so much.
immediately yes. As soon as you said it, we had it immediately yes.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you guys so much for tuning in again to another episode. I'm so full. Such a beautiful couple, such a beautiful example of God and His love. And you do want to connect with them, we'll put their Facebook page for their ministry on the screen so that you can connect with them. And if you happen to see them on social media and just need a good encouraging laugh, I promise you just their day-to-day videos are enough to keep you smiling and encouraged. And remember to please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are dropping these episodes on a regular basis, so we want you to stay connected to us. Also on our other social media platforms that we'll put up on the screen. So we appreciate your continued support. And until next time.